Good morning. I'm Bruce St. James. She's Pamela Hughes. He's Rob Hunter. And these are the stories everyone's talking about. We call it the playlist.
Track 1.
It just seems there's way too many of these headlines lately. Unfortunately, Maricopa County Sheriff's Deputy William Coleman was killed in the line of duty. Sheriff Coleman and 2 other deputies responded to a burglary call in the Anthem area around 4 a.m. Sunday morning. The suspect opened fire with a high-powered rifle, killing Officer Coleman. The suspect was then killed when deputies returned fire. Officer Coleman is the first MCSO officer killed in the line of duty since 1995.
And you know what, guys? Cops right now, they're trying to figure out if this guy is also the same guy responsible for the murder of a couple in Sedona over the weekend as well. So, bad guy. Very, very bad guy.
I'm thinking about Coleman's kids today. Deputy William Coleman. He has two kids. I think they're both daughters, 4 and 7 years old. And it's just, I hate these stories, man. What else can I say about it?
Track 2.
Excuse me. Well, Gabby Giffords Wow, got a little choked up there, guys. Sorry about it. Gabby Giffords was in Tucson yesterday on the 1-year anniversary of the Tucson tragedy. She and her husband, Mark Kelly, they spoke yesterday. She herself led the crowd in the Pledge of Allegiance. And outside of yesterday's events at the University of Arizona, many are wondering if Giffords will seek another term in Congress.
Yeah, and it's tough to put these two things together, but you do have to wonder those questions. And is the right thing to do? I think it would make her a bigger person than she already is if she says, you know what, I'm taking a term off. I'm going to focus on my recovery because it's not fair to the people of Tucson that I represent.
I thought the good news reports, even coming from her husband, is that she's all there.
Yeah.
Well, while you may see her struggle with words at times and move a little slower, mentally, it's the same Gabby he married was the thing. I thought that was like the best thing I'd heard about it all weekend long.
Track 3.
Today should be a national holiday. We're going to call it Tim Tebow Day, baby,
Oh,
because he did it again.
He did it again.
His star started at fading at 3 straight losses in the regular
Yeah.
season. You should see the way Pamela's looking at me right now. She's a Steelers fan, of course,
Sad.
but it came down to overtime. The Steelers came back, tied it in the 4th. OT, first pass, Tebow connects to a wide receiver by the name of Demaryius Thomas.
Yep.
Boom,
Runs
off
it all
to
the way
races.
in. Game over. Touchdown. Hopefully the magic dies, though, because Tebow goes to play the Patriots.
What did Tebow have written on his eye black?
316.
John 3:16. How many yards did he throw for?
316.
316 yards. Yeah. You know that means that Tom Brady's going to throw for 666 yards on next weekend. You know that, right? It's a foregone conclusion.
All I can say, guys, is my heart just hurts a little bit this
Aw,
morning, so please be
pobrecita.
kind.
Track 4.
In politics over the weekend, Mitt Romney brought out the big guns to help boost himself in New Hampshire. The big gun itself being New Jersey Governor Christie. In true Christie fashion, he took on several Occupy Wall Street protesters who showed up. Now, Governor Christie, who endorsed Romney, said that it was Obama who was dividing the country. He also said Romney would make us all proud every day he served in the White House.
Yeah, I don't know about every day in the White House. I think it's going a little too far even for Christie, but you know what? I think that, Romney has some huge, huge momentum right now, and this very well may be, all over by tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I don't think I think that's a foregone conclusion at this point. But what I like about Chris Christie is he's different from most politicians. He'll actually say to the protesters, "Here's why you're wrong."
Yeah, he'll
Nobody
have a
else
debate.
does that. Yeah, exactly. So, hey, maybe he could be the vice president.
Track 5.
Well, you should have the right to name your kid whatever you want,
Yeah,
right?
gosh darn it.
Well, unless you live in New Zealand.
What?
Yeah, their Internal Affairs Department is the department that comes out with a list of names that they've banned. You can't name your kid King,
King,
Emperor,
Emperor,
Princess,
right?
Messiah,
Come on.
and V8.
Excuse me?
Yeah, just to name a few. They have some strict rules. They can't be a letter or a symbol. Or, you can't name your kid titles that haven't been earned.
To earn Messiah. You gotta earn that.
I'm glad that they have to crack. Apparently, there's enough of a problem in New Zealand with kids named King that they say, wait a second here.
knew?
And I'll just have a note to self. If I can't move to New Zealand when I have a son because I was going to name him V8 the whole time. That was my plan.
I can explain to you the V8 thing as a racing guy. You know where it comes from? Their version of NASCAR are called V8 supercars. And so it's like you trying to name your kid NASCAR by calling him V8.
Drink.
Yeah, I don't believe it's the vegetable drink. I think it's their version of NASCAR, which shows that there are plenty of rednecks in New Zealand. Good to know.
Track 6.
Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce had their baby over the weekend.
Oh,
the girl.
good news. I was so
Yay!
worried.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Well, one man says, you know what? You should be worried because he had a baby too, twins,
Yeah.
born prematurely. But he says Jay-Z's security kept him from seeing his babies because
Oh,
they were
for
like
God's
everywhere
sakes.
in the hospital.
Yeah.
Neil Cohen said, you know what? He was stopped 3 times by security, but the hotel rep said, we didn't have any
Hospital, yeah.
complaints, so this guy could be just making it up.
Well, they like got a whole floor of the hospital, right? In true Jay-Z Bianchi, when you go to a hotel, you rent the whole floor.
Yeah.
They took the whole floor of a hospital, and they also confiscate all of the hospital employees had to turn their cell phones in and weren't allowed on the floor with a cell phone or a camera.
I get it. I totally get that. They named the little girl Blue Ivy Carter.
Why?
Well, she has a Twitter account
Ivy.
now
Of course she does.
and has over 25,000 followers.
Blue Ivy does.
Blue Ivy does.
That is the playlist for Monday. We've got you caught up now on the stories that people are talking about. 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30. You can join us and get caught up on the playlist.